Before starting, I want to clarify that everything I'll write next is real. And above all, it is not an isolated fact. The person, if you can call it that, who attacked my friends and continued chasing and murdering innocent young people, with the mere rejoicing that must produce having their hands covered in blood. And what is worse, never be caught by their almost perfect method. I didn't plan to publicly reveal the details of the story. At the time, I already declared to the police everything I had to tell. I didn't want to do it for the memory of the victims, besides not being a story that I'm happy to tell. However, as you will realize, I feel obliged to do so. I must write and publish this as quickly as possible, because I don't know how much time exactly I have left to live. Know that right now he is watching me, and that if I get to publish this wherever, it will be with his consent. He knows that they can't find him. Perhaps the fact of reading these words, flooded with horror, causes him an oppressively deep mind pleasure, giving him exaggerated sensations of enjoyment. That feat is already right. Ego, please take into account what I'm going to tell you, and make this bastard pay for all the crimes he committed, and he will commit, please. As usual in the summers, my friends and I went camping to an old cabin in the depths of the forest. I don't remember its name right now, but if you investigate my history a little, you'll find it without problem. That was located southwest of the town where I live. I'm still here writing these lines, about 2 hours or maybe 2.5 hours by bus ride. It is a charming and secluded place. We used to escape the hustle and bustle of the end of the year, come on to regain strength after the university final exams. Honestly, we never thought about not going to that place. It has a magnificent lake and a great view. We could not refuse to spend a few days in that paradise. What we never believed, not even in our deepest twisted nightmares, was what would happen on the night of the fateful 20th of December. The fact that I will relate below, which is totally worthy of a chilling horror film installment in the style of a Friday 13th. What happened was undoubtedly horrible, and I even usually have reoccurring nightmares on the subject. I've been thinking about this since it happened, and I can't get it out of my head. Luckily, the day when my suffering will finally end is just around the corner. Without further ado, and already entering the story, I can clarify that I have survived thanks to a coincidence, a miracle of life, or so I want to believe. What happened was so controversial that even today, I still wonder if it was just luck. That night, then I was faced to use the attached bathroom of the cabin, which is located about 10 meters from the backyard of the land, among trees and bushes that gave my life my most twisted thoughts. As one of my friends was occupying the main bathroom. I must confess that at first I naturally refused to face the darkest of the night, but after having waited several minutes, I was obliged to do so. Every day I thank myself for having the courage to do it, since thanks to that, today I am still where I am and alive. It may sound selfish and malicious, but someone had to survive for these things to be clarified, so that the world would know who this man is. As soon as I left, I began to hear, thanks to the deafening silence that reigned in the area, some strange noises among the bushes at the entrance of the house. Although I vaguely imagined that it was a squirrel or some kind of other animal that wandered around the area, it's a forest. What the hell? Those sounds, no matter how disturbing they may be, are normal in areas like that. In addition, the congestion caused by going out alone did not let me think clearly, so the matter quickly vanished from my head. I entered the bathroom with all the precautions I could. I inspected the back, around, and even inside the toilet, just in case. And when I sat down, I heard a terrible noise coming from the house, which, with the passing of the hours, I understood that it was the main door when it was knocked down. Then a series of screams, howls of terror ran through and flooded my ears. Our pets had been attacked, and I couldn't do anything. The dread paralyzed me, since never before in my life had I ever heard such a scream, much less from the throat of any of my colleagues. After the initial slip, I decided to go and see what was happening. My friends were fearful. With a little fortune, only one rat would have entered the house, and the noise would have been no more than a desperate attempt to kill her. But when I opened the door and saw, for reasons for reflection, I think, the living room window, I almost vomited from fright and disgust that the scene that I could barely see produced. I'm not interested in feeding people's morbid obsession or with any details. I couldn't even do it correctly, so I'll just say that I observed how a slender man with abnormally white face, he used makeup or a mask probably, repeatedly stabbed one of the girls with unusual cruelty. Stunned by what was happening, and after seeing how the threads of blood flowed down the corners of my friend's lips, I decided to hide inside the narrow room from which I had just left, and from there look carefully at the small trailed window that lay at the top of the door. I didn't want to keep watching. I think now that I should have run for help, but something inside me needed to stay and see what would happen. It's strange, a lot in the fact, although that's how it was. I can't explain some things, and this is just one of them. Without actively participating, I was an accomplice of that bastard, since I witnessed how he had gunned down 4 people. It is worth also mentioning that I only saw how he acted on one, but I saw the rest of the bodies, and how, after his feast, he posed for the camera with the mutilated corpses of his recent victims as if they were an important trophy for which he would need to feel honored. As I write this, tears flow from my eyes and heats are running down my face at an impressive speed. I thought several times about stepping, scribbling letters on this paper. However, I won't do it. I'll continue for the good of all. All the victims all need recognition, and they need to rest in peace. Once this feast was over, the murderer left through the back door, dragging a huge bag next to him. Later, also when I entered the house, I understood that it was 2 of my friends and some mutilated remains of the other 2 in that bag. He passed so close to me that I could hear his agitated breathing, in addition to observing some interesting details in his figure, such as some strange and reductant tattoos on his right arm. They also had kind of a Y on the ceiling of his head, on the side of his heart. I'm not sure what exactly it was, but after collecting some information from the internet, I came to the conclusion that the symbol resembles a brotherhood or maybe a cult. As I looked at these tattoos with naughty fascination, a few words emerged from the quiet ellipsis. I know you're hiding in the bathroom, dear, but I won't hurt you today, no more than I've already done to you. For you, I have something way better, something special. Take good care of yourself. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you before our next meeting. Although my heart turned upside down and almost exploded with resentment, I was confronted by the idea, knowing that the guy had given me his word. He had spared me. Normally, I wouldn't have trusted these words, although at that moment it was the only way to get ahead. I won't mention what happened the next day. I don't think it's necessary. Since that night, I have recurring dreams of the murderer with the tattoos in his pale face, the blood that covered his hands and chest, with the endless black hair, which was confused with the depth of the night. Maybe I'm getting very paranoid. It is likely, although, as I already mentioned, it's possible that he's watching me. I feel that the day of the reunion is getting closer and closer, and that's why I write. That's the real reason. My fight ends here. I can't absolutely do anything else, and that's why I leave this whole matter in the hands of those who read this. I hope they catch the son of a bitch. I hope they do, for the memory of all the dead he's killed.